Are you sure?
Yes, he did it. I saw it. He summoned some sort of black magic and killed all those blessed souls.
You mean the souls that tried to burn him at the stake?
Polo's mother was standing before the king and his trusted advisers.
That demon child killed my husband and those people.
Why were they burning him at the stake? They did not have the king's permission.
He saw the god of death. It possessed him.
We don't know if he's telling the truth.
We do know, because he performed the act of killing those villagers. He shot lightning from the skies.
Aren't the skies where the god of life resides?
He must have manipulated it somehow.
Nobody has seen the god since the great battle of Eleroo. The gods and its followers are nothing to lose sleep over. That boy is neither a god or a follower.
One of the advisers turned to the king.
My king, the soldiers were marching towards the fire. They told us what they saw. It matches this woman's story. This boy was brought to you saying he was contacted by the demon gods, and then later he strikes down the villagers who tried to burn him.
So what do you suggest? We march into the wild mountains and kill the boy?
We shouldn't kill the boy. If the villagers were struck down from the sky, then it was from the gods above, not below.
Hold your tongue, Nomir. You may be a great soldier, but your word is no greater than that of the king.
We need to find an oracle before we make a decision.
And where do we find an oracle? Their services have not been needed since the great battle.
Well, they might be needed now. If the gods are emerging once again, then the ones who can communicate with them will emerge too.
We have had peace for 1,000 years. The villagers of this kingdom haven't been harmed since last night. All from one boy who was contacted from the darkness below. I have made my decision. We head towards the mountains. We search for the boy.
Polo was hiking through the mountains for several hours. He didn't know where he was going, or why he was going, or how he was going to get there. He had no map, no directions, and no experience. If there was ever a person who shouldn't be traveling alone, it was him. Yet here he was. Polo thought that if the god of life has faith in Polo to find him, then Polo will have enough faith to get there. The mountains started to become more green. Polo looked around and saw all the foraged foods that was around. He's never seen anything like it, as there was never this much in the village, and the produce were way too expensive that only the king could eat it. He stopped at a creek. He realized this was the same creek that led into the drainage tunnel in the village. He had an idea. He gathered some wood and built a little basket. He went around and gathered all the fruits and vegetables and placed it in the basket, and then placed the basket in the creek, sending it towards the village. Polo wanted to send a message to the villagers of the edible livestock in the mountains outside their homes. As Polo got to his feet to continue his journey, a wolf bear stood directly in front of him. Polo stood still. He's never seen a wild animal before, and now he's standing face to face with one of the most deadliest animals the woods has to offer. The wolf bear stepped closer to Polo. Polo stood his ground. The bear then charged towards Polo. He jumped out of the way before it could make contact with him. The wolf bear tumbled to the ground. Polo took off running further into the woods. Polo stopped running. He heard a cry from the bear, almost like a desperate plea. He turned around and followed the noise. The wolf bear was caught underneath a fallen tree. Polo knew he should run as far away from this creature, but he couldn't bring himself to make that decision. He slowly inched his way closer to the bear and reached his out to pull out the rocks that were keeping the tree on the foot of the bear. Once Polo pulled out the rocks away, the tree began to roll away from the bear, freeing him, but not before it fell towards the earth. The bear and Polo ran in opposite directions to avoid any damage. Polo took cover beneath a bed of giant boulders as the tree crashed on top of it. Polo slowly made his way out of the bed of giant rocks and continued onto the path of which he was walking. The soldiers were preparing themselves to head into the mountains.
Isn't this a little excessive? It's just a boy.
A boy who killed our people with thunder. He is the most dangerous being in all of Eleroo. Why aren't you coming, Nomir?
Nomir looked at his fellow soldier in confusion.
It's just a boy. I saw him when he spoke in front of the king. I sensed nothing wicked about him, nothing evil. He is innocent of all wrongdoing.
So you believe his story, that he was contacted by the demon god?
Maybe, but I don't think he's possessed or a servant of the demon god. And even if he was, he's out of the village away from us.
Yes, he's away from us, but maybe he's on his way to Barthion to take over the capital of Eleroo with his devil magic.
Yeah, or maybe he's just trying to escape because the villagers were about to burn him alive.
Either way, Nomir, these are risks that we soldiers have to take.
Nomir stood and watched the soldiers ride into the mountains. Nomir decided to walk through the streets of the village. He saw many poor people. Living in the streets or broken-down huts, the only available food to buy is old bread. And most don't buy, they just steal due to their hunger. Nomir began walking into areas of the kingdom where he's never seen before. He's never seen so much poverty. Every person he walked by looked nearly like they were only skin and bones. Nomir was starting to become affected by it. He turned away and headed back to the palace. Polo had just finished building his bow and arrow from scratch. He learned a lot from his work on the farm. In order to keep some of the animals from escaping, Polo had to learn to make a bow and arrow and shoot it from a distance. The farmer always told him a skinny dead goat still tastes better than no goat at all. Polo places some of the food he collected and placed them in a particular spot. He waited patiently, he placed his arrow to the bow and pulled it back, ready for it to be released. He waited and waited and waited. Finally, a rabbit walked out of his den and hopped towards the fruits that Polo placed on the ground. Polo released the arrow and watched it penetrate the rabbit, killing it instantly. Although Polo worked at a farm, he still didn't get used to killing animals, but he knew that it was essential for man to survive. Polo thanked the rabbit for providing Polo with a meal and asked the god of life to bless the rabbit in his next journey in his new world. Polo walked through the woods, trying to find a comfortable place to skin the rabbit. He heard people talking. He peeked through the bushes and saw 3 people sitting around a fire. It was 2 women and 1 man. All seemed to be a little bit older than Polo. Polo decided to walk out towards the campers. They drew their swords.
Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Polo. I come from the village Gendlia.
What do you want?
I am walking alone in these dangerous mountains. I need all the company I can get.
We are not good company. It is best that you leave us be and continue on your path.
I see you all have swords, but no bows and arrows. That must make it really difficult to hunt. Sure, you can survive a little longer with the vegetation that this mountain is blessed with, but it can't provide you with the energy that you need to continue on your path. Energy is life, and the bigger the life, the bigger the energy. I have my bow and arrows, which I can make out of anything. I use these arrows to hunt for food, hence this rabbit that I freshly killed, right here. I would like to share this with you. Would you like that?
The campers looked at each other.
Fine. Have a seat near the fire.
Polo approached the group and sat amongst them.
Can I borrow your knife, please?
The woman reluctantly handed Polo her knife. Polo began skinning the rabbit and discarding his waste and inedible organs. He chopped it up into 4 different pieces and placed them over the fire.
Where did you learn to do that?
I worked on a farm.
Why did you leave?
I wanted to find something more. What about you guys? Where are you going?
Well, 2 of us aren't guys. We are girls. Women.
Okay, I'm sorry, what are you 2 girls and 1 guy doing?
I'm Serana, this is Helena, and this is Marcus. We are going to Barthion.
Why?
The group fell silent.
Are you criminals? That's okay. In these mountains, it doesn't matter.
We're not criminals.
We just had to run away from home. Our lives weren't very good where we are from. Our parents, well, they did things. We figure it'd be best to restart our lives in Barthion.
Your siblings.
Yes. So where are you going?
I don't know. I guess Barthion wouldn't be a bad choice.
Well, you can hunt. We could definitely use you on our journey.
The rabbit was very good. Thank you, Polo.
We're sorry for being hostile towards you when you came. These mountains can be very dangerous sometimes.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
They are starving.
They are peasants.
Your job as the king is to serve your people, not to rule it.
The king and their men started laughing.
Do you know how silly you sound, Nomir? I am the king. The king rules. You, Nomir, are a soldier. You fight. They are peasants. They do neither.
We have heard cases that these peasants are stealing food.
So are you. The only difference is that they are starving. I see all the food you eat and that we eat. It's not just old bread, it is food from the mountains in which the villagers cannot go to.
They cannot go to those mountains because the food that grows there is important and only meant for soldiers and the king.
I know what kind of foods grows up there. There is enough for the whole land of Eleroo, not to mention all the animals that live there as well.
You don't know what you are talking about. And your job is to fight for your king, not against your king. Any protests against my words, and I will have you punished, Nomir.
Nomir left the palace, disgusted. As he was leaving, one of the guards walked behind him.
Lord Nomir,
Yes? Who are you?
I am Nat. I should tell you something. The king mustn't know I told you.
What is it?
One of the reasons why the king doesn't give all the goods from the mountains to the rest of the people is because he is not the only ones that use it. There are neighboring kingdoms who compete for the food that the mountains provide. Both claim land to it. They made a treaty that no one shall have it, and that they will equally share its abundance.
I've been there before. Those mountains have enough food for both kingdoms for the next 1,000 years.
I know, but a war may break out over that land. It is prophesied that there will be a famine coming. Once it comes, that mountain will be the biggest source of food for the kingdoms, and a war will be fought over it. As you know, in a war, Lord Nomir, the soldiers and the king all eat first.
A famine? What prophecy is this do you speak of?
It was the prophecy of the last oracles. They spoke of it after the great battle between the gods. It is written in the ancient libraries.
What did it say exactly?
That on this year, famines, war, and disease shall retake the lands.
Retake?
Yes, there are more in these prophecies.
Show me.
Polo and his new companions were weaving their way through the woods.
How long until we reach Barthion, you figure?
I don't know. I've never been...
How do you know we're going in the right direction?
Barthion is north of us right now. We'll keep heading north until we find a village or a city and hopefully get a map, or at least directions. So, where are you guys from?
Girls. There's more girls than guys here.
Okay, well, what do you want me to say?
Just say you.
Well, what if I'm talking to a single person? Then it might get confused with the rest of the group.
How do you know?
Okay, you know what? You can just say you don't want to answer where you're from. Okay, you know what? You can just say you don't want to answer where you're from.
We're from Huldren.
Is that far from here?
We've been walking through the mountains for at least 3 days. Thank the god of life for the fruits that he put forth in these mountains.
Have any of you encountered the god of life?
What do you mean?
Has he talked to you before? Or any other godly being?
The group looked confused at Polo's question.
The gods haven't been present for thousands of years. They don't contact beings like us. Why? Have you seen it? Or heard of anyone that's been contacted?
Polo was silent.
No. I haven't seen the god above or anything that lives beyond the mortal life for that matter.
Do you believe in it?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
You don't? Why? Helena, how could you not believe in the gods?
Nobody has seen the gods. No one has witnessed the power from the skies or the powers from below.
We don't see the powers of below because the demon god was sent there. And since he's trapped below, there is no reason for the god of life to show his power.
Why doesn't he use his power for good? Use his power to give life to those who are struggling.
Because that's up to us. The gods gave us the power not to fight the gods, the immortals, or the divines beyond the skies. That is his duty. He only gave us the power to fix the problems that is near us. Because it's the problems that we create, and we have the power to fix it ourselves. The more we begin to fix these problems, the more powerful we'll be. Because that's up to us. The gods gave us the power not to fight the gods, the immortals, or the divines beyond the skies. That is his duty. He only gave us the power to fix the problems that is near us. Because it's the problems that we create, and we have the power to fix it ourselves. The more we begin to fix these problems, the more powerful we'll be.
Like the gods will grant you an award for each problem you solve?
The gods will not grant us more power. He'll grant us the knowledge of the power we already had.
The forest was beginning to thicken.
Make sure we stay close together.
Halt! Turn around, all of you!
3 soldiers were behind the group. One was holding his bow and arrow ready to fire.
Toss your swords and weapons to our direction. That includes yours, Polo.
Serana, Helen and Marcus turned their heads to Polo.
Now, or we'll fire an arrow to one of your mates.
Polo took his bow and arrows and placed them by the soldiers' feet. The group did the same.
We've been looking for you for too long, boy. The king would like a word.
I didn't kill those villagers.
Shut up!
Let these people go. They have nothing to do with me.
They look like they are helping you. That makes them something of interest. All of you are coming with us.
The soldiers tied each person's hands and began dragging them back through the mountains. Nomir was searching for the books of prophecies written by the oracles in the great library of Gandlia. Due to the age of the ancient book, he expected it to be buried near the bottom of the giant stack of books in this great library. He finally found it. It was old, covered in dust. Nomir felt that if he squeezed just hard enough, it would evaporate in thin air due to its age. He gently placed it on the table and began flipping the pages. The book began long before the great battle of Eleroo, although it was interesting. Nomir skipped the pages all the way towards the end of the book. He wanted to see the last message by the oracles. He started reading.
Although the great battle between the gods of Eleroo are over, and that of the wicked evil is cast down below our world, it is not for certain that it is for eternity. Around the 1000th anniversary of the clash of the gods in Eleroo, evil shall retake the land once again. At first, it will be in a different form. It may possess the strong and honorable men to commit evil tasks, and they won't even know it. This may result in the sacrifice of the civilians of our world, including the lack of food, water, and basic needs of survival. It may result in wars or the spreading of disease. The next war between the good and evil will be fought internally. Once the possessed have finished what they started, the evil god and his followers will return to the surface to complete their long-awaited mission. The God of life, the God above us, knows everything. He created us oracles for times such as these, which is why we won't be of this world very long now that the great battle is over. When the next oracles resurrect is when the wicked is returning. When it returns, the outcome of the lands of Eleroo will not fall in the hands of the gods or his followers, but the actions of a single man. May the soldiers of Eleroo prevail, and the quest of man do God's will.
The soldiers were dragging Polo and the group through the mountains back to the village.
How do these soldiers know you?
They're from my village.
What do they want from you?
I can't explain.
We're being punished for just being around you. Who are you?
I'm sorry. I'll find a way to fix this.
Are you a murderer?
No,
You said something about killing villagers.
I didn't kill any villagers.
You guys shut up.
Half of us are girls. We're not all guys, actually.
If I were you, boy, I wouldn't say a single word. The good gods above us will strike you down and cast you to the underworld where you belong.
As the soldiers were going through the mountains, they heard a noise in the woods. Branches breaking, trees were shaking. Something was coming towards them. It was a wolf bear. Polo looked at its leg and noticed a marking on it. It was the same one that Polo encountered earlier.
Get back, go, get out of here, stupid beast.
Let's kill it. We'll have more food to eat. Let's kill it. We'll have more food to eat.
Just leave it.
Shut up, boy.
One of the soldiers charged the bear. It quickly swiped its paws across the soldier's face, killing him instantly. The other soldier grabbed Sarana and held her in front of him as a shield as he moved towards the bear. Polo knew the bear would tear through her to get to the soldier.
Sarana!
Polo quickly lunged towards the soldier, knocking him to his feet, separating him from Sarana. He then grabbed Sarana and threw her back with the rest of the group. The bear then attacked the soldier and held him down as he began to feast on his body. The bear then turned his attention towards the group, still in an aggressive stance as if he's ready to harm them next. Helen, Sarana, and Marcus were horrified of what they were witnessing. They were huddled together to protect themselves from the attacks of the bear. But Polo remained calm. He knew the bear, and he knew that the bear knew him. He slowly approached the bear.
Polo, what are you doing?
The bear stared back at Polo. Polo then turned his eyes towards the damaged leg of the predator. There was a sort of acknowledgement from both Polo and the bear. A deal, a transaction that was now completed between Polo and the hungry wolf bear. The wolf bear relaxed itself from his defensive stance, lowered its head, and turned away from the group, dragging the lifeless bodies of the soldiers within the forest. Polo exhaled. He turned around and faced Sarana, Helen, and Marcus.
We should move forward.
Lord Nomir, it could just be a metaphor.
For what?
Nomir was meeting with Nat in the village.
Nomir, when it says a single man, it probably just means each man will have a role to play. Earlier in the text, it brought up how evil will conquer the individual internally. Therefore, a single individual has to battle it out to win.
Or it could mean it literally. That a literal young man will hold the fate of Eleroo in his hands. That his actions determine the fate of mankind.
I don't believe it to be a peasant boy.
Nat, you believe the words of the oracles?
Of course, everyone did. Their visions helped the soldiers of God win the Great War.
Okay, so you believe the prophecy of wars, famines, and diseases, but you don't believe the prophecy that one of the young men here are chosen, even though one of the men were contacted by the demon god himself, and then, once he was about to be burnt at the stake, the god above, the god of life, struck down the villagers and set him free.
We don't know that to be the God of life.
It came from the skies, Nat. That's where he resides. The soldiers all attest to that. You and me both know that the demon god doesn't possess the power of the skies. The fact is that the demon god contacted this young man, and then the god of life saved this young man. I believe what the oracle said about the fate of Eleroo coming down to a single man is true, and it is that young man. It is Polo.
What should we even do about it?
There were screams within the village. Nomir and Nat sprinted towards it. As they got closer, there was a large crowd surrounding a small area. Nomir weaved his way through the crowd until he saw what the commotion was about. Large baskets of food was floating through the creek in the village. The villagers were celebrating. Some were crying out of pure joy. There was enough baskets to feed the entire village for a fortnight. Nomir looked into the mountains of where the creek came from, the same mountains that Polo entered the day before. The villagers were now on their knees, bowing.
Thank you, God. God of life, we thank you.